Let me introduce one of our chapter heads from the great state of Indiana. He's going to introduce his member of Congress, Vinnie.
Okay. Thank you, Sanjay. Great event. I wrote a long speech about the accomplishments of Congressman Rokita, but looking at the time, I'm going to just highlight the relationship between the Indiana chapter, Indian Americans, and India with Congressman Rokita. He was one of the first Indiana state elected officials to go to India, and he's been influential in starting the chapter. If you remember, in 2006, Congressman Rokita, along with some of our friends, came and met Sanjay Puri, and Congressman said, hey, why don't we do this in Indiana? Why don't we get started? So the journey started in 2006. Since then, he's been very helpful for the community, Indians, Indian Americans. His door is always open. I hear so many wonderful stories about Congressman's office and staff helping Indians from all over the Indiana, not only from his district. So it's such a great honor to have a great friend for India.
Can you give a big hand to my good friend Vinnie Rao from the great state of Indiana? Vinnie, thank you very much. We can do better than that for one of our own. Come on, Vinnie. We started that PAC in 2006, and as Vinnie and I speak with you now in 2014, we've raised over $2 million for that PAC. Good, no one believes that. A lot more to do, but it's moving along, and we're having a good time with it in Indiana. Vinnie was nice enough to mention that I was one of the first elected officials in the state of Indiana to travel to India, and he's wrong. I was the first to travel to Indiana, and it changed my life, certainly my political and public service, and I'll always be grateful for Vinnie and a whole cadre of Indian Hoosiers who helped support me to get to that place. We went all over. We went to New Delhi and Mumbai and Andhra Pradesh. And you can't be an elected official in the state of Indiana and go to India and not spend 2 weeks in Andhra Pradesh. So there I was. And it was just a great trip. And then, let's see, that was back in 2006 or 6, I think, as well. And since then, Kathy, my wife, and I have had 2 beautiful children that we didn't have. We had 0 children before. And now we have Teddy, who's 6, and Ryan, who's 4. And as my good friend George Holding knows, the general order for my office on a flyout day, which this is, we had our last votes at 12 o'clock, and so it's a mass exodus of elected officials. Okay, I get to DCA and other places, and we start smelling jet fuel, and we go. But and because of that, there are very few things that would keep me from seeing my wife and my 6-year-old and 4-year-old. This group and Vinnie and what we're doing here is one of those things. And I know that George feels the same way, right? Because you have a plane to catch or missed already as well. So a long way of saying thank you. Thank you for this partnership. I am looking forward to the road ahead. Is that the name of this conference? I think it's, I'm not going to say it's long overdue. I guess that would be the cliche. But I've always enjoyed a strong relationship. Indiana and India have always enjoyed strong ties. But I am looking forward to creating new ones and strengthening even more the ones that we have. My district it's 250 miles long. So it's perfect for an old Secretary of State who used to have 92 counties to handle. Now I only have 14 or 16, something like that. But at the center of my district is a little school called Purdue University. I don't know if any of you are associated or know Purdue University. Show of hands? No. Okay. This is what I think about the Indian students who study at Purdue. I so much want immigration reform that I am one that would like to staple a green card to anyone from India who graduates Purdue University or anywhere else in this country for that matter. Certainly welcome to go back to India, but if they choose to start their family and start their life in Indiana or anywhere else in the United States, I'd rather them just do that immediately. And those are some of the common areas. This is one example of the common areas that we have here in the United States between parties on things like immigration reform. Will we solve the issue of the 11 million that are here illegally? I don't know. I hope so, in a manner that's fair for everyone, including those that have already been waiting in line for years to get into this country the right way. But in the meantime, there are a lot of common areas. We have a visa system that is broken, that's an embarrassment and needs to be fixed. And again, like I said, this in the areas of STEM education especially, I'd rather students, young or old, who want to stay here and build their families and build their wealth, just go ahead and be able to do that. That makes America richer, and not just in the economic sense, but in the cultural sense especially. So those are the kinds of things that I'm about. Those are the kinds of things that I would like to work with President Modi on. Those are the kinds of things that I would like to work with between parties here in this Congress, in these United States. This PAC, I will always be a supporter of. If I haven't turned in my dues yet, Vinnie, get with me on that. I hope I'm the beneficiary of some of it, but I also want to contribute to it. I want to be a member if your bylaws allow. So thank you very much, and I appreciate you. Have a good time in Washington. Be safe, and maybe I'll see Vinnie on the plane tonight. I don't know. Thank you very much.